The government is to review how victims of rioting are compensated. The move comes as a Croydon MP claims many people in the area who lost their homes and businesses during the 2011 disorder are still struggling to get back on their feet. Here's our political correspondent, Carl Mercer.
The day after Croydon burned in the riots of 2011, fire crews were still on the scene. This row of shops and flats among those to have been destroyed. While for many the memories of that night may have faded, for those who lived and worked in this block, they remain all too vivid. Nearly 2 years on, these locals are unhappy with the compensation they've received.
This is my hallway.
Charlene Munro was left with just the clothes on her back and her phone after the flat she shared with her 3-year-old son was burnt down. Like thousands of others, she applied for compensation under the Riot Act. She got a third of what she asked for.
I got very little from them, which wasn't enough to help me rebuild my life, basically. I'm in debt at the moment. I'm finding it hard to get on top of my bills and stuff because of the backlog from basically the whole year that I've had to try and rebuild everything, basically.
Param owns a jeweller's along the road. It was burnt down and looted.
They offered me so far 350,000, which is well short of what I applied for, and on top of that, I have spent almost £90,000 putting the shop together.
The crystal clean laundrette that burned down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen belonged to Bushra Ahmed. Back at the site today, what was her property remains a wasteland. She's still not received any compensation.
The act in itself needs to be acted correctly. So compensation means you get back to a place that you were before, not that you're left in debt, not that you're in fear of going bankrupt on top of everything else. So you don't have enough money from day to day to live. That's not fair.
Figures show that 3,447 people applied for compensation. The total claimed was £250 million. So far, £35.8 million has been paid out.
I've still got people that have lost their homes that haven't been rehoused. I've got people that have lost their businesses and their livelihood that have not received a penny and are now facing losing their homes as well because they have no income.
The government told us today that nearly all the claims had been dealt with, but it has launched a review of the Riots Damages Act.
One of the things, obviously, we need to look at is whether we can make it simple enough so that if people have to, maybe in 20 or 30 years' time, come and look at it again, they know that the process is easily understandable and clear. But there are genuine complexities about a mixture of state support for people and private insurance, and that complexity will always be there.
The review goes out to public consultation in the autumn. Carl Mercer, BBC London News.
A man has died.